Tonight on Oswego Now, snowbanks are reducing visibility for drivers, how the city of Oswego is handling it.
And we're going to bowl at Rice Creek for an Olympic-themed special event with crafts, a biathlon, and live Winter Olympics coverage.
Plus, Johnson Hall might not be the only building on campus with a mold problem. What's going on in Shinneman Hall?
Oswego Now starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Oswego Now. I'm Mike Neckers.
And I'm Jason Rude.
The mold problem here at SUNY Oswego has turned from residential buildings to academic. With the new semester upon us, mold is still on everyone's minds.
While facility services tell faculty the problem is resolved, concern still remains. Reporter Gianna Cowell has the story.
I'm standing in the geology lab here at Shinneman Hall, where just a month and a half ago, this very classroom was closed due to dangerous microbial matter, which pertained to mold infestation. Anonymous source, a professor here at SUNY Oswego who would like to remain anonymous, reported the mold on Twitter through a post, where they expressed their concerns and anger for SUNY Oswego for allowing students and faculty to be exposed to mold all throughout last semester and to take their finals here, regardless of various professors in the science department, specifically geology, reporting seeing mold in various classrooms in Shinneman beginning in October of 2025. I spoke with visiting geology professor John Fox about what he thinks about the mold and what he saw in Shinneman.
Biological sciences over in Shinneman. So, I've seen it. I've seen photos of it. And it was pretty obvious to me it was an issue. I also know that some faculty have actually taken measurements of humidity in different rooms within Shinneman, and readings were quite high, around in the 80%, 85% humidity. That's very high humidity. And the big thing about mold is it's moisture. It requires moisture to grow.
In November of 2025, one of my peers, Lexi Primonero, got to sit down and interview Associate Vice President of Facilities, John Mitch Fields.
Shinneman is an academic building. People don't normally open the windows. We have a lot more control over the space. We have to get the HVAC system fixed. This, I think, will be completely and permanently repaired forever.
Fields was unavailable.
We are still waiting for a response from Associate Vice President of Facility Services John Mitch Fields on the latest status of Shinneman Hall.
When we have more information, we'll keep you posted here on our Oswego Now YouTube channel and our website, oswegonow.net. It's Valentine's Day weekend, and for some, that can mean flowers or a special night out. For thousands of others, it can mean stress and survival.
In the U.S., domestic violence rates spike around Valentine's Day and other holidays. Our Emily Mike is looking into the data. Emily, what can you tell us?
Sure, Mike. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, the U.S. sees 21 million domestic violence cases each year, and 15% of those happen on or around holidays, including Valentine's Day. That is over 3 million domestic violence cases in roughly 10 days out of the year. SUNY Oswego's Title IX coordinator, Lisa Evaneski, attributes this spike in domestic violence to added pressure from the holidays and the need for a perfect relationship.
So if you think about expectations, right? People go into holidays with expectations that they're going to be full of comfort and joy, or they're going to be, full of love because it's Valentine's Day. Well, really, if you have already an unhealthy relationship and now you're going into the holiday with a lot of expectations on both sides, right? Maybe throw in some alcohol, throw in some family drama, throw in a lot of other things, and that's going to lead to more problems, fights, overreactions, and violence.
Evaneski also shared that it takes the average victim up to 7 attempts to leave an abusive relationship. Victims may fear retaliation, may rely on their abusive partner financially, and may have no place to stay or may not have a safe place to put their children. Last week, the Oswego County Child Care Assistance Program was halted due to a shortage in funding. For some families, childcare can be key in removing kids from unsafe homes. However, even though this program is on pause, there are still options for survivors. Both Services to Aid Families and the Child Advocacy Center of Oswego can offer support to families in need. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Emily. Say, Jason, the weather's been a lot more tame these past few weeks since we had that blizzard.
Yes, it has been. You think that things are finally starting to warm up, Mike?
Well, hard to say, Jason. Let's ask Oswego Now meteorologist Aurora Fitzgerald. Aurora, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, our weather has been extremely weird lately. I do have some good news, though. We are going to see temperatures up to 40 degrees, but I'll get that into my full weather forecast. You know, outside right now, it's not looking too bad, but, you know, it's still pretty cold outside. We are expecting some snow tonight, but stay tuned. I'll have my full weather forecast. But for now, back to you guys.
Thank you, Aurora. You may think it's no big deal, but as many Oswego residents are stuck dealing with the constant snowfall these past few weeks. How is the city dealing with all of that snow? Oswego Now's Logan Russo spoke to Mayor Rob Corradino to find out.
When you hear the sounds of plows and construction vehicles, you know it's that time of year again in the city of Oswego, where snow falls as far as the eye can see. The past few weeks have brought wave after wave of snow, burying the city's streets, creating tough conditions for drivers. Crews have been working 24/7 at clearing the streets, but it's not just the roads themselves causing issues. Snowbanks and piles on street corners kept piling up and are creating blind spots at intersections.
It's street corners like these on the corner of East Bridge Street and East 7th Street that are causing issues for drivers. The snow, as you can see, is all the way up to the top of that stop sign. Mind you, I'm 6 foot tall. That is 7 feet of snow here on this corner, creating blind spots for drivers.
The snowbanks at Brightback Park also reached the bottom of the sign bearing the name of Rob Corradino, the mayor of Oswego. According to Mayor Corradino, crews have started to take some of the snowbanks at their most congested intersections.
The city of Oswego has about 100 miles of roads, so they're doing their best to clear some of the more major intersections. We probably won't get to all the neighborhood intersections, but you know, a lot of the highly traveled or priority areas we're going to clear.
Although Mayor Corradino said this is the most snow he's seen in the past few years, he also says that it doesn't compare to some of the snowstorms of his childhood.
Don't laugh, but I remember the winter of '66 where we had 7 days of school off because we got about 102 inches of snow in the winter of '66. Truthfully, the piles of snow in front of my house remind me of the winters of my youth.
Spring's coming in a few more months and you won't see snow piles like this much longer, so maybe you should enjoy them while you can. For Oswego Now, I'm Logan Russo.
Mayor Corradino said that if the forecasted thaw does indeed happen this month, the crews will ramp up snow removal.
Thank you. Coming up later in the show, I had a chance to sit down with Doug Stevens to talk about food insecurity.
Plus, the city of Oswego has banned walking on the frozen parts of the river in town, calling it dangerous. Up next on Oswego Now.
Welcome back. I'm your Oswego Now meteorologist, Aurora Fitzgerald, taking a look at the picture of the day. Just wanted to start out with this because we've had a lot of winter weather recently, but you know, winter can still be beautiful. Look at all these beautiful snowflakes over here. I just thought they were beautiful. I saw them flying on my coat the other day, and I thought, why not take a picture? It is still quite a beautiful season, if you ask me. Taking a look at our current conditions, Oswego currently 24 degrees. Southwest winds at 10 miles per hour, so it's a little breezy. Definitely feels like 14. For the rest of the night, it's going to feel like it is in the teens. Cloudy across most of northern New York. Fulton, Pulaski, and Phoenix still sitting in the 20s. Taking a look at our radar and satellite, we have a little bit of lake effect snow out in the Watertown and Tug Hill Plateau area, and we also see a bunch of snow coming from Canada that will going to be hit us tonight. Taking a look at our current temperatures, Plattsburgh 25, Albany 28. New York and Buffalo, we do have a hazardous weather outlook. And then taking a look at Syracuse, it's also 25 degrees. Taking a look at our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, it is going to be above normal temperatures here in New York, right all the way over here. Even down south, we're going to have above normal temperatures. We're going to be seeing close to 40 degrees next week. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited. And then taking a look at our Saturday planner, you know, I feel like putting up some decorations. It's Valentine's Day. I think we should be a lot more festive. Taking a look at Saturday planner, morning, you're going to see some snow showers, 30 degrees. Afternoon, 32 degrees. We are going to see the sun pop out a little bit through the clouds. In the evening, 29 degrees, still pretty cloudy if you're going out on a little date, having a Galentine's Day, going out to dinner, whatever you like. Taking a look at tonight, 5 o'clock, temperatures will begin to decrease down to 23 degrees, but be mindful there's still going to be a wind chill. It'll feel like it is in the teens. 7 p.m. snow showers are 90% chance they will go into tomorrow afternoon. However, this will also cause dangerous road conditions. If you're going out tonight, please make sure that you have everything prepared for you and your vehicle to be safe. 5-day forecast, Saturday, 33 degrees, 22. Going into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, guys, the sun is real. It's back. It does exist. We will be seeing PM showers on Sunday and Monday. Monday, we're going to hit almost 40 degrees. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to see some mixed precipitation, 37 on Wednesday. And that should be it for my full weather forecast. I'll send it back to the desk.
Thank you, Aurora. If you've been planning to take part in any ice-related activities on the Oswego waterways, you may want to reconsider. Mayor Robert Corradino has issued an executive order prohibiting several popular ice activities.
The fact that there's ice out there doesn't mean that it's ice that should be on. So we're hoping that people will heed our warning and not ice fish or snowshoe or ice skate on the ice.
Ice activities on the waterways have not been an issue in the past. Mayor Corradino said this was something they had never had to deal with before, and there was no law in the books about ice access. And rather than wait, he decided to issue an executive order to keep people safe for safe ice skating. Official open skates are available on campus.
As we celebrate Black History Month, we're highlighting a historic site that shows Oswego's roots in the fight for freedom. The Pease House on Cemetery Road, built in 1817 by Daniel and Miriam Pease, served as a stop on the Underground Railroad and played a role in the county's abolitionist movement. While parts of the property are gone, reminders of that history remains, including artifacts in the town museum. Local historian George Damas explains how those details reflect the Pease family commitment to freedom. That is a reminder that the fight for freedom is part of our local story.
Later in the show, an interview with Oswego men's head wrestling coach Mike Howard about his recent induction into the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
And after the break, my interview with the... Thank you for joining us. I'm joined here by Doug Stevens, one of the many leaders in Fulton's Blessings in a Backpack program. Thank you for coming today, Doug.
Thank you for having me here.
Now, real quick, can you briefly explain what the Blessings in a Backpack program does for the Fulton students?
This provide weekend meals for the elementary school children in the Fulton district. They're handed out every Friday afternoon. Right here, I got the banner for the Fulton Blessings in a Bag, and our little motto, who will be feeding the kids this weekend.
Now, the program is serving over 281 children, which is an 11% increase. What is driving that growth?
I think the economy basically is driving the growth. We are not federally or state funded, so other food insecurity programs have been affected by this, so I think it's become even more important that we sustain our efforts.
Now, the program costs more than $1,000 per week to operate. What are some of the biggest funding challenges?
Writing the grants, and then of course you never know if they're going to be approved or at what monetary level it's going to be. We also get donations from individuals and different organizations within the Fulton community.
Now, recently, one of the grants that you had received for the program was from the Oswego County Food Security Alliance. They granted over $5,000. How impactful has that been to the program?
That has been great because we are able to buy the food, and it just makes our job easier because we know that we have the food to package up to distribute to the children.
Now, what kind of impact are you seeing on those students who receive these backpacks every weekend?
You know, it helps them grow and feel, I think, a little bit more secure that they're going to have food during the weekend.
How can community members be able to donate or get involved and volunteer?
We have a website, Fulton Blessings in a Backpack, and there's also a Facebook page, and we've been trying to, through media, get it out into the newspapers and other methods so people are more aware. The program, although it's been around a while, other than the people that are actually being recipients of it, a lot of them are not aware of the program or how it works.
Okay. Well, perfect. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Stevens.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course. When we come back, how local chocolate shop Man in the Moon Candies is getting ready for Valentine's Day.
And a Valentine's Day basketball game on one side will have their hearts broken, and a decorated wrestling coach finally receives his flowers. Sports is coming up right after the break. It's a SUNYAC men's basketball standoff. The top seed is on the line for Cortland and Oswego. It's going to be a sweetheart of a battle to the top. Hey there, everyone. I'm Parker Voris with Oswego Now Sports. The pressure is on, and that was clear when I talked to both coaches. Their teams are focused and ready.
Well, I took away how really, really good Cortland is.
Oswego and Cortland, one of the SUNYAC's top rivalries, meeting late in the season with the conference #1 seed still in play. Oswego State's head coach Jason Leone says Lakers don't have many clear advantages heading into the matchup.
You know, for us, in terms of advantages against them, I don't see a ton.
And while the tension is on Saturday, Leone says his biggest concern is how his team approaches Friday night against SUNY Morrisville.
You know, I think the biggest part of the weekend is our guys having a mature approach to our game on Friday night.
Coach Leone understands the excitement but says there will be none if the Lakers don't get the job done on Friday.
You know, any type of excitement that would be built around the standings, that's not even a factor.
Cortland head coach Marius Kearney says his team is taking the same approach.
We're worried about today. Like, right, I actually talked to my team yesterday because I've had a lot of people come through my office ask me about the Oswego game and the complications and what does it mean. And I'm like, guys, one, we have practice. We still have 3 practices, but we played SUNY Canton on Friday. The Oswego game doesn't mean anything if we don't take care of business Friday, and that's the reality of it.
For Oswego players like Deacon Judd, the pressure is there, but it isn't a distraction.
Every game means more now, especially that we know, the overall rankings and that obviously we're on a host towards the end of the year. So a little bit of pressure, but it won't affect anything. I think as a team we're ready to go.
A rivalry matchup with major implications, but only if both teams handle business before Saturday even arrives.
Coach Leone says this is the best Cortland team he's ever faced, but his mindset stays one game at a time, beginning with Morrisville tonight. And on Valentine's Day, when hearts are usually full of love, either the Lakers or the Red Dragons will be left heartbroken. SUNY Oswego Athletics has a history of some all-time greats on their side. As our very own James Fitzpatrick tells us, there's a new Hall of Fame inductee inside the wrestling room.
Oswego State University takes pride in their athletic accomplishments. Lakers wrestling coach Mike Howard has their most recent one by being inducted into the National Wrestling Coaches Association Division III Hall of Fame.
For me, it's gratification that, my fellow coaches have recognized the work that I've put in over the years. So it's very rewarding to be recognized by your peers.
It wasn't an easy path to the NWCA Division III Hall of Fame for Howard. In fact, it has been quite the journey.
So I've been the head coach here at Oswego for 37 years. Prior to that, I was an assistant coach for 3 years. So 40 years total coaching here in this wrestling room and upstairs and, across the country. So it's been a great career.
Coach Howard joins a long list of Hall of Famers, including his late father, Jim, who passed away just about a week ago. Jim coached the Lakers for 26 years.
yeah, I feel real honored to be able to, be inducted into this Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame that my father was also inducted in back in, I believe, 1989. So he was the coach prior to me taking over. And I can remember that ceremony. I actually presented him at the ceremony when he was inducted. So yeah, I'm truly blessed to be joining him. And
The Howard family, which also includes Howard's brother and former wrestler Mark, and current women's lacrosse coach Britt, will live in Oswego record books. For Oswego Now, I'm James Fitzpatrick.
Howard will officially be inducted to the NCAA Division III Hall of Fame on March 12th, 2026. That's all for sports. Back to you and Jason, back to Jason and Mike at the desk.
Thank you, Parker. Man in the Moon Candies in Oswego is helping sweeten up Valentine's Day this week. The local candy shop is hosting its annual strawberry dipping event both today and tomorrow, giving customers the chance to dip their own fresh chocolate-covered strawberries.
Owner Amy Lear says the strawberries are dipped in store from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you're still looking for that last-minute Valentine's gift or activity, you can stop in and grab a sweet treat. Well, Mike, I don't know about you, but what's your Valentine's Day plans?
Well, Jason, we've got some live sports broadcasts to cover tomorrow, and then I'm taking a trip to Canales for dinner. How about you?
Pretty much just going to be covering the women's hockey game in the morning, and then we'll see where the wind takes me.
And Jason, because we're talking about the candy shop, I do have one more question for you. What is your go-to holiday or Valentine's Day candy?
Can't go with any type of regular chocolate. It's got to be the peanut butter Reese's.
Well, that's it for our show. Be sure to check out our website for more stories at oswegonow.net.
And tune in next week for more local news.
I'm Mike Neckers.
And I'm Jason Rude. Good night, everyone.